Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And in this game, crews do play an important role. I talked about this several times before, and we more and more have events where you need a certain crew to score really well. And one of those events is the reason why I want to talk about my critical crew today. As usual with the crews, I can only show you what's working best for me. It's always depending on the officers you have at a certain point of time in the game, so not everyone will have all the officers I have, but it gives you a glimpse of what you can do and what you can do over time. And it's also always depending on your research and a lot of other things, on what ship you're using. So there's not, except PMC, that for a long time is a very good crew for everyone. But usually the other crews are sometimes depending on your personal stats in the game. So it's not always the Goblin of Miracles or what you want to call this, what I'm showing you, but it's always something you can test for yourself. And that's why today I want to talk about my critical crew. And in this case, for the event that we recently had where you had to cause critical damage to hostiles and armadas, FKR hostiles and armadas. FKR is, for those who are new to the game, is Federation, Klingon and Romulans. And of course then I put everything together I could to get critical damage, and I scored quite well on that one. And that I did with all the critical officers I could find. And it's not all critical officers like Floxy's there because it's my Borg cube, but it started with having Strange New Worlds Uhura as captain, because her captain maneuvers when fighting hostiles. Uhura increases critical hit damage against hostiles by 20%. That doesn't work against armadas, but still against the hostiles. Then, of course, we have the classic for everyone, that's Khan, with his officer ability Savage Tenacity, where he increases the critical hit chances. Of course, if you want to have critical damage, you need to increase your critical chance, so the critical hits will be caused in the first place. Then I used Sam Kirk in this case on the bridge, which I usually don't do for my hostile hunting with Jim Kirk. I don't use Sam, but the phaser-based study increases the critical damage by 40% at the rank I have here. It will be 350% at rank 5 versus non-armada hostiles. So two of those are not against armadas, but they are working against the hostiles. And the main purpose of that event, for example, was the hostiles. Then, of course, I'm using U with resist and retaliate below deck, because he has a 50% chance to increase critical hit chances once again. So you want to trigger critical hits to score critical hits, and that's where U comes in. Then I used Deanna Troi with her below deck ability. She once again doesn't increase the chances, but the critical hit damage by 45%, in her case against armadas and hostiles. And then there's someone people often overlook, and that is Odo. But he also, with his below deck ability, increases critical hit damage by 25%, and there's no limitation of the targets in here. And then I also used Mazriat Vael. When hit by an armada or hostile, increases critical hit chance by 5% at my level and 12% at rank 5 for 4 rounds. So she's once more another officer that can trigger your chance to score a critical hit. And that is the combination I used for this for this special event, to cause critical hit damage. And as I said, I scored really well. I despite not being the strongest player in my alliance at that event, I did score in the top, I don't even, 5-6 with his crew, because I could collect a lot of critical hit damage, although I didn't have that much time to play. You know, I talked about in the Hammer video about my work schedule every week, so you can imagine I cannot play the whole day, and so I had to score these critical damages in my limited time of gameplay, and it worked really well. And that's why I wanted to show you your options here. If we get another event like this, I think that might happen again because I've seen it more than once already. Then have a look at these officers yourself and see if you can score better in this event by using those. If you have a different opinion or have something to add to my officers, please do so in the comments below the video and on Discord. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.